Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Little Mountain Ranch. My name is Chelsea. I am so happy to have you here with us today. It is the most perfect autumn day today. The sun is shining, all of the leaves are starting to change in the forest, and there are still some things left in the garden to pick. I still have these gorgeous dead-end cabbages. I have some red acre cabbages, some gorgeous scarlet kale, and abundance kale that I need to pick, but that is gonna have to wait for another day because today we are going down to the high tunnel and we are getting it ready for winter. This is going to include picking all of the tomatoes and peppers that are left in there, pulling out all the vines, getting everything mulched. Anyway, I'll show you. You guys can come along with us. Do you wanna know something funny? Is that Maple down there has not once been in my high tunnel this entire summer. Go find out what it is. Go, go, go. And yet somehow she made it down here today when I bring the camera out. I'm not joking, not one time this entire summer. I do not know what's going on with my dogs. Okay, so as you can see here, we still have a lot of tomato plants left in here, but the amount of fruit that's on them has definitely dwindled significantly. So what we're gonna do is we're going to pick all of the ripe tomatoes, put them in one box, and then everything that's green in another box, and I'll show you how we ripen those inside. We do have some frost damage happening inside the high tunnel right now, so I know it's just a matter of time before we get a killing frost that just wipes everything out. Pardon me, honey? I'm gonna take you around and show you some of the frost damage that we have and some of the fruit that we have left to pick in here, and then we're just gonna get right to it. As you can see, we ended up with quite a bit of frost damage on this zucchini plant. It got, I think it was about 2 to 3 degrees below freezing, and that will definitely do it when it comes to squash. Little bit of damage on these peppers. This one is pretty toast. And a little bit of damage on the tomato plant. So it is definitely time to get the high tunnel cleared out. The long-term plan in the high tunnel is to have a wood stove. I talked about this when we built the high tunnel last summer, but we are currently putting a wood stove in our shop and a wood cook stove in our house. So the high tunnel is just gonna have to wait. Like I've shown you before, I run a couple of these little heaters to keep it above freezing in here as best I can, but along the sidewalls where it's colder, we're still losing stuff to frost. And even in the middle of the high tunnel, the Kikuzi has some damage on it. So it's definitely time to get it cleaned out. What I could have done is cleaned out an area a couple of weeks ago and planted some hardier crops like spinach and kale, things like that that can handle a bit of frost. But to be honest, I'm usually ready for a different pace. It's just so go during harvest season from around the beginning of August all the way through until mid of October, that I'm usually ready to get things cleared out by this time of year. I'll do the ripe ones and you guys can move along and pull out the green ones, okay?
Why are you picking the green tomatoes?
Because they'll ripen inside, and there's lots of really neat recipes you can make. I usually make a green tomato salsa with the green ones, and I did that green tomato relish last year that was really good.
I wonder what green tomato soup would taste like.
I don't know. I suppose we could try. I usually throw a few green tomatoes in to the tomato soup.
Drop them, guys. Well, I remember
you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, we don't want to drop them because they get bruised then, okay? So be gentle.
You guys just get it.
You gonna pick them up? Remember to be really, really gentle.
Can I put this off?
Yep, sure.
Mom, you missed another. Just bring them down the other aisle now.
I'm going to do a little bit of seed harvesting while we're down here from these giant marigolds. And all you do to harvest these seeds is pull off the flower head, and you can pull this part back. And these are the seeds right in here. So you can leave them as a clump like this as long as they're thoroughly dry, or you can break them apart like so. And I'll put these in bags and plant them all over the garden next summer. And some Mardi Gras sunflower seeds. Most of the sunflowers that grow around my farm are grown primarily because they're beautiful. They look lovely throughout the summer, and then the birds have food for this time of year and going into the colder months. But these ones in the high tunnel were not eaten by the birds. So I get to have some of the seeds. Oh my goodness, it's really bright. These are basil seeds, and as you can see, these ones on the bottom are brown and dried. Those are the ones that I harvest, and then the green ones on the top I won't. I tried harvesting them green last year, and they actually didn't germinate. So I'm just going to take off these guys and try these, and hopefully they'll work for me this year.
Go before I can't eat. And
Be very careful when you're pulling the plants out that you don't disrupt the soil too much, okay?
like over there maybe. Okay.
Yeah, just if you pull them out slowly, then it doesn't knock all the soil off the mound.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay, you ready?
Follow my butt.
I don't want to follow mine either. Okay, ready? Oh, there we go. Just took two of us.
There's a lot of eggplants on there.
So another northern garden fail are peanuts. Look at the size of those peanuts. So to be fair, we had someone staying with us over the summer to help out, and I had asked her to weed this section, and she didn't know that these were not weeds and pulled them out. So I tried to replant them again right after that happened, and I don't think I was successful. But this will be something I'll try next year just for fun. Oh, we are going to pull out the sweet potatoes, even though I know for certain they're not ready. There's just no point in leaving them in the ground because it's going to get too cold, and I don't want to run heaters in here just for the sweet potatoes. So I suspect they're not going to be much larger than they were last week when I showed them to you, but it'll be kind of fun, and if nothing else, entertaining. Do you guys remember what my tomatillos looked like last year? Those big, gigantic plants. So I planted them in bins by the door here this year, and as you can see, they did not do very much. So next year I'll be planting them in the ground, but just 2 plants. You do need 2 plants with tomatillos because they do need to cross-pollinate, but I'm just going to do 2 plants because they were so prolific, and last year I think I did 6, and that was way too many. But I do like making salsa verde. It's one of my favorite condiments. You want to pull all those ones off, honey? Because most of them are on that side.
They are?
Yeah. No, we're just going to get it all ready for winter. So we're going to clear this all out, get all the weeds and everything out, and then we're going to cover the ground with compost, fresh compost.
And then after we're gonna have a treat.
After we're going to have a treat? What kind of treat are we going to do today? Tomato soup and hot chocolate?
That's disgusting.
That doesn't sound like a very good combination.
Soup with veggies. We're gonna have bread.
Okay, Darth Vader. Pile at the end.
I can pull root.
Sure, you can pull the weeds out. That would be helpful. Now what I'm going to do is rake this out, and then we're going to layer the beds with a thick layer of well-rotted compost or manure compost over the entire thing. And then I'm going to actually give it a really, really good watering in here. I'll probably just put the sprinkler in here, because one of the things about keeping the plastic on your high tunnel in the winter is the ground gets super, super dry. And I don't want to kill all the good microorganisms that are in the ground, and they require some form of moisture. So I probably will also cover all the beds up with some type of landscape fabric or something like that to keep the moisture in the ground, but we're not quite there yet. Okay, we have one more row to clear out, and then we're going to pull out the sweet potatoes.
Do they work?
Yeah, they're working pretty well, I think. There's a few.
Digging.
I don't want to break them though. I'm going to need to get a shovel so that I can dig that up. Kind of starting to look like it. You know what? These aren't bad. That's not a bad size. What do you think?
They look like carrots.
They don't look bad at all. Okay, let's try this one.
Helmet like this.
Like a white. Is it white?
Oh my, we've got to be a little more careful here. People that know what they're doing are probably watching me do this, going like, no, don't do that. Hey, look at these ones. Look at that.
That is a big boy.
Look at that.
That is huge.
That is so cool. Look at those.
Do we
Okay,
have sweet potato fries for supper?
I don't know if I'll have enough, but I will certainly try. Okay, this is like the coolest thing.
Does it feel?
Okay, this is extremely exciting. Look at that! So excited. All right, so we are just about finished getting this all cleaned out. We have a little bit more to rake out, and then we're going to compost it all, as you can see, along this side, and then cover it all with, water it first, cover it all with silage tarps or with landscape fabric or something like that. The other thing that we're going to have to do is fix the side that you can see that's blowing up over there, get everything fixed and secured for winter, and then Dan is going to come in here and reinforce it with 2x4s similar to what we did last year. I'm not sure if I showed you that, but I'll make sure that I show you that when we do it, to help to give extra support for the snow load that we get on this high tunnel. We could remove the plastic, which would solve a lot of problems. It would solve the moisture issue. It would solve the issue of the potential collapse of the high tunnel. But it is a serious pain in the butt to take the plastic off and on a high tunnel like this. Also, we don't really have anywhere we could store it where it wouldn't get chewed on by mice in the wintertime. So we're just going to do our best to reinforce it like we did last year. And we didn't have any issues with it bending or collapsing or anything, obviously, or anything like that. All right, this is the last harvest out of the high tunnel. We have some eggplant, lots of green tomatoes, but fortunately not too many. Some red tomatoes. There's a few more green tomatoes down under here. And then, of course, the beautiful sweet potatoes, which we're going to eat for lunch today. I hope that you guys all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.